Hi, my personal comedy Jesus, my love of my comedy life. You wrote a little Valentine on Twitter, which is, you said you can lose the popular vote twice, you can be impeached twice, you can lose the White House, the House, and the Senate in 2 years. But brothers and sisters, hear me. You haven't hit rock bottom until you've been dumped on Valentine's Day by your accountants.
It's true. It's true. Mazars is not taking the fall for Trump, and if you enjoyed that, just wait for Rudy Giuliani to make the exact same decision.
We just played him, though. He was on some right-wing whack network last night talking about, I have all this Hillary evidence. It's in my bedroom. It's surreptitious, but it's... so he's not cooperating, right? He's trying to get Trump to pay his bills.
He's still trying, but keep in mind, Trump's not paying him. He has literally lost the ability to practice law because of his devotion to Trump's lies. And his idiot son is running for governor of New York, and Trump has already endorsed the other guy running against him.
Doing a fundraiser for him at Mar-a-Lago.
Just watch this space. Believe me, it's not over till those two turn on each other.
Look at you
and
channeling.
No matter how depressed you are, you got to eat healthy. We all deserve to live long enough to see Rudy and Trump tear each other to ribbons. It's what good people do.
Watch this space. Oh, you're filling our Rachel Maddow needs while she's on hiatus. Watch this space. So yeah, I don't. John, I know we feel like we've been here so many times. Like we've got him this time. But it does seem, based on the spasticness and the amount of his statements over the past few days, that clearly between I assume New York, Georgia, the DOJ, what January 6th committee is finding, he is feeling this Hillary thing is so insane. I'm sure you've talked about it. It is, you just go, oh my God, what is that? And then you realize once again, it's not even from the Trump White House. It's from when Obama was in the White House, and it is nothing that they're saying it is, right?
Oh, yeah. But don't forget, Donald Trump's second campaign manager of the three, Paul Manafort, arguably the worst morally, but we could have that debate. He had to leave the campaign because he was so in bed with Russian spies. So if you have people around you that are hanging out with Russian spies, in other words, people in your circle are with people who are being surveilled by the government. That's not spying on you. That's spying on spies. And believe me, everything we've heard about the Durham report will be forgotten next week, like Biden's coming to get your hamburgers. All this Republican Party has to offer is more money for millionaires and anger and umbrage for non-millionaires. And that's all it is. I've taken to asking my right-wing callers to tell me, what has the Republican Party done for non-millionaires in the last 30 years? And they just call me names. They get enraged because they can't think of anything.
Yeah.
This is the racket. This is the racket that our loved ones are caught up in.
Yeah.
Anger, and nothing. But at least Prince Andrew's okay.
Yeah, at least.
Would you like to talk about that? That's in my fun stack. Could I have some Queen music,
There's
please?
fun stack for,
yes,
for
the Queen.
Pedophilia?
The Queen. Well, it's not pedophilia. The Queen. The Queen's going to be paying off Andrew's payout. And I can only imagine she is thoroughly unamused.
By the Queen, you mean taxpayers, right? You mean UK taxpayers.
Yes. The Queen has already spent millions of dollars footing her son's bills, and now she's
the royal family's not paying this woman anything. It is taxpayers of the UK who fund their tourist attraction that are paying this.
I think they made her stop drinking her Dubonnet and gin, didn't they? Because that could be what it is.
Yes.
Okay. What's the point at 95? Just let her.
Prince Charles is 73 years old. Imagine how long you've waited for a promotion, and then think about that.
Right.
73.
Here's my favorite part of the story, because it involves the corgis. The people chatted that were having an audience with the Queen. They chatted with her dog Candy. When one of the men suggested her dog had let out a little growl, the Queen said, "She does not normally growl." The first rule of meeting the Queen: don't suggest that her beloved dogs are anything other than impeccably mannered. That is the same rules that apply here.
Yes.
Yeah.
With your corgis.
Do not suggest they are anything less than impeccably mannered. Okay.
I love two things. I love how many people are angry because they expected to rent a feel-good movie about Princess Diana.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I thought because Kristen Stewart was hot, I was like, this is depressing.
Oh, well, I mean, Any movie about Diana is going to be depressing.
Not gonna end
It
well.
didn't end
But
well.
Kristen Stewart's hot and she's bi. I thought
I
it was
don't
going
want
to be
to
a
see
little.
bulimia and cutting. I want to see happy Diana movie. That's what I want to see. But look.
Why
again,
isn't there a happy ending? Oh,
Oh, well.
Maybe she'll find a new boyfriend. Oh wait, no,
Oh.
yeah, it's not going to have a happy ending, people. Only Andrew gets a happy ending, and you
Hey!
No, we are thoroughly unamused again.
Hey, at least Andrew can finally get back to his job of doing nothing and getting paid lots of taxpayer money for it. So let's give him that.
Oh,
Yeah, and boy,
oh,
ooh.
okay. All right. So I was going to say, in terms of Trump's craziness, so he has now latched onto right-wing reporting on the recent Durham filing to claim that, quote, Democrats breaking into the White House. So he's somehow now this baseless Durham thing, non-spying thing, has now become in his mind glommed onto. That's how they stole the 2020. Oh, because
What?
Yeah.
okay.
So, yeah. He was the mightiest man in the country, and they were spying on him because he was powerless. Folks, can we please not get in the way and let Donald Trump tear this party apart, please?
I know.
You've already got the Marjorie Greens and the Gateses and the Trumps here, and then you have the Pences and the McConnells and the Chris Christies here.
Yeah.
Let them tear each other to shreds. They should get along. They have so much obstruction of progress to
Yeah.
unite them, but instead they're going to look. Ron DeSantis is praying that this destroys Trump. Trump's praying that Ron DeSantis will be his running mate. Trump will never be president again. He will not magically become more popular than he was in 2020. He's going to be bleeding out money to defense attorneys for the rest of his life. His punishment has already begun. It's in front of us. Stop waiting. It's in progress. And it's
Can
only
we
gonna get
please
worse.
break down the latest statement from the office of the 45th president?
Please.
Okay, thank you. Okay. The spying into the Oval Office continued for a long period of time and further served to undermine and discredit the 2020 election, along with massive ballot harvesting phantom voters and so many other things that made the election a sham. The voting numbers were big and determinative. Why isn't the media asking who gave crooked Hillary Clinton's plumbers their orders? Okay, I feel like he's getting
Plumbers.
crazier as I
Yeah.
read this. With Watergate, it was the cover-up that turned out to be a far bigger crime. With Hillary-gate, it's the mainstream media cover-up that's almost as big of a crime as the act of treasonous espionage itself, showing the world why our media is truly the enemy of the people. Okay. Wow, that's like his greatest
there you
hits,
go.
right? That's like a greatest hits
Yeah.
album, all in there.
Yeah.
Crooked Hillary and the lamestream media, and wow.
Somewhere in hell, Nixon is so embarrassed and he's beating up Roy Cohn for it. I'm telling you. Just beautiful.
Like when two dogs are like barking at something and then they turn on each other because they're fenced in, like that. That's what's happening in hell. Mm-hmm. Stop hitting me!
your boy's
Stop hitting me!
But I mean, this is how Trump is. It's going to continue this way. The media will mop up everything he says and does. I don't know if you guys subscribe to Donald Trump, to his mailings, but I do. And you guys can double check this, fact check me on this. You know how many fundraising emails he is sending out every day to scrape one more nickel out of these MAGAs? 14 fundraising emails
Yeah.
a day since January 1st.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, he only sent 2. But since the 1st of January, and what he's doing is cutting into every other Republican candidate's ability to raise funds, because the conservative folks open up their laptop and it's just all this email looking for money from Trump, and then a few other people too. He is hurting the entire party. Liberals, let him continue.
Yeah. Well, it is, and it's made it like an entire party of grifters, right? Like, what is it? Josh Hawley is, selling the mugs with him with the, insurrection fist
Right.
on it. And so he just said, it's not a pro-riot mug. This was not me encouraging rioters. It's so weird because it seemed exactly like that, and now he's trying to sell them to
Exactly what
rate.
it
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Or maybe it's just his white power mug, because let's not forget, this was the racist president with the Confederate flags in the Capitol. And why were they doing all of this? To throw out votes of predominantly black counties in Arizona and Pennsylvania. You can't separate the white supremacy from the terrorism. So you know what? Let Josh Hawley do that all he wants.
Yeah. Also, as we were saying, Trump's new Free Speech Act will not be, what's the word, Chris? Free.
Free.
It will
Right.
not be free.
Right.
The Free Speech Act.
That's what I've heard.
That's why it's funny. This new grift, John, the platform, what is it? The Truth Social, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's his new social media platform. Right wing have media. They've been hyping Truth Social as a MAGA alternative to Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Scheduled to go live Monday. Is it, Travis? The 21st.
Yes.
Truth Social allows users to join the app waiting list for free, but it doesn't let you reserve a username. To do that, you have to make a donation to the
really?
National Republican Senatorial Committee. So
Can I just say?
Yeah.
Can I say there are things in my fridge that will last longer than Truth Social?
Yeah.
When the whole way you get these people to be your cult is because you justify their hate and give them a place to feel safe hating, and the only thing that unites them all is their hatred of liberals and people who can spell simple words correctly.
Yes.
When you have a site just as an echo chamber for people they agree with, there's no liberals on this Truth. So there's no one to hate.
Right.
They're not.
Have you
gonna
given up
stay
your
there.
and your fight in terms of the
No,
way?
I've given up on that.
Have
I've
you?
given up on their fight. I've given up on all of it, and I'm just using that to be nature's IQ test for everyone. You know?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
You always say
Your is just a way for women to decide how low their standards are in a guy. That's all it is. Are you going to settle for a your, or are you going to hold out for a guy who can spell correctly? English people. But who's going to stay on this site with no liberals to hate? What are they going to do? Get along and discuss how much the Republican Party's doing to help people? No.
Yeah.
The whole movement is based on hate.
Yeah, on
That's
owning
the one
libs.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, owning the libs, hating the libs.
Well,
There's no libs there.
Even Fox News has liberals on their panel so that they
Yes, that's someone to hate.
Exactly.
That's why I stopped going on there, because I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, you want me to be the idiot liberal that's defending, I don't know, communist puppy killing or whatever it is they invite you
Exactly.
on. The topic's already. It's past Valentine's Day, but you're always so romantic talking about when all the right people find each other. Speaking of social media, etc. So the Chinese billionaire that is backing Steve Bannon and Getter,
Oh, that other social media.
right, which
Yeah,
seems
Getter's
badly named for how many people have been accused of sexual assault. But okay, Getter is the name. So he's the billionaire backer behind Steve Bannon and the right-wing social media company Getter. He filed for bankruptcy this week. It's all a magical circle. He was recently ordered to pay $134 million to a creditor, so he moved his yacht into international waters to avoid paying. That was the same yacht that Steve Bannon was arrested on for his fraud charges. Remember, for trying to grift?
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
Trump voters for okay. And also, this guy is on China's most wanted list for alleged bribery, fraud, and money laundering, which sounds familiar. And a lawsuit filed in New York by a 28-year-old Chinese woman says he lured her to the U.S. from China to work as an assistant, then kept her prisoner for 3 years, repeatedly assaulting and raping her.
Wow.
Isn't it all the same universes, all the same charges, anybody that's connected to Trump and right-wing causes, it seems?
If that story gets any bigger, Hunter Biden's laptop is going to pay.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's almost big enough they got to talk about Hunter. Like, that's it. I mean, you nailed it.
This is how you know, like, the Hillary alert has gone off on Fox News because they're getting closer to Trump.
They are terrified.
Yeah.
They are terrified.
I think today's the day we find out if Tish James gets to depose Trump, right?
Yeah. Yep. And again, amidst all of this, we turn on Fox News, at least I do, and all they're doing is spouting Putin talking points.
Yep.
Yes.
Like, it's truly terrifying right now that they're now the same people that called us America haters because we were against this stupid illegal war in Iraq are now calling us warmongers, even though we don't want war. And they're calling Joe Biden a warmonger, even though he's saying he will not have war. But they'll never call Vladimir Putin a warmonger. And watch this with your trolls, too. They're so outraged about possible war in Ukraine, but they're not outraged at all that Putin might cause war in Ukraine.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
Yep, absolutely. John, I love you with the heat of 1,000 white hot suns.